It's January, there's not much we can do in the garden. Well, depending on where you are. I am in Ohio, zone 6A, so it is freezing outside. But we can get a head start by winter sowing. And today, that's my plan. I'm going to winter sow some perennial flowers so I can put them out in my garden in the spring and everything will be super beautiful and super nice. And that's my plan. What am I going to sow? I am going to sow my handy dandy seed book. See, a bunch of milkweeds. I tried to grow these last year. I put the seedlings out when they were still pretty small. They had like probably 4 true leaves, and I'm pretty sure they died. So this year I'm going to probably keep them in a container until the end of summer, or maybe late summer, and then plant them out. Maybe even wait till next year. I don't know if that's a good idea because milkweed has a long taproot. It doesn't like to be disturbed, but I'm just gonna kind of see how that goes. Then I am also planting, I've got a thing for purple this year, by the way, in case you can't see. Bergamot, coneflower, New England aster, lupine, and blue columbine. All of these need cold stratification, which is a period of sort of frost and thaw, like cold weather, to properly germinate. It just helps them to germinate. And I'm going to do that by winter sowing. So what is winter sowing? Well, it is basically, and I'm still learning, so I'm just going to explain it how I know it to be. It's just mimicking what happens naturally in nature. When a seed drops to the ground, it is exposed to the elements, the cold, the warm, the changes in seasoning. And it brings, well, first of all, some seeds need that. They need that cold stratification that I was talking about. And secondly, it sort of strengthens them. It hardens them to the environment so that when spring does come and it's time for them to go into the ground or into the pot or whatever outside, you don't need to sort of baby them into it. They're prepared. They are strong. They have been through it. They know how to survive in the wild. That's my explanation. Google it. You probably already know. I watch millions of these videos, which I'm sure you do too. So we know what it is. If you don't, Google it. It will give you a much better understanding. What you will need for this is one, a good scissors, because you're going to be doing some cutting. A container of some sort that should be clear or opaque, so I can get sun. And it should be relatively deep so they can grow roots, because it's going to be like up to here with soil probably for this one. Garden marker, very important, because you don't want the ink to wash off your little garden stick things where you're going to put the name of the seeds, because you'll forget. Everybody forgets. You can make these very easily. You don't have to go buy these, but I think they're pretty cheap, but regardless. You also need some kind of tape, because you're going to make a cut along here and you're going to want to tape it. I only realized that the tape that I used last year for this process, we don't have it anymore, is gone, and I didn't buy a new tape. So I am going to try using twine. So I think it'll work, but this is what we're going with. But know that you're probably better off using masking tape or builder's tape or like a strong tape. But that's what we're doing. So, that's it. Oh, I said I was growing lupine. I watched a bunch of videos on how to germinate lupine. Apparently it's kind of tricky. And one of the channels that I watched recommended soaking it for like 24 hours, maybe a little bit more, soaking the seeds, just because they've got a particularly hard shell. So that's what I did. So these are in water. They're ready to go. All right, let's get into it. You also need soil, obviously. I'm using just raised bed garden soil. I think it'll work just fine. I'm not worried about getting potting soil or anything like that. Actually, I have heard that potting soil, you don't want it. You know what? This is what I'm using. That's all I know. See how it goes. Okay, so first of all, you wash this to make sure it's clean, so you don't have any like gross things growing in there. Then, probably the most important step, you want to make sure there's drainage holes along the bottom. So you just take your scissors and just like do a bunch along here. That should be okay. So there's like, I don't know, maybe 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 or 8 along the bottom to ensure good drainage, or your seeds might rot. Then what you're gonna do, you're gonna want to cut along probably about halfway up. Just go along here, like so. It doesn't have to be neat. It doesn't have to be tidy. It could be a little better than I'm doing it, but that's okay. And you want to leave like a hinge so that you can open, close, open, close. And there you have it. You have a container. Now, we're going to fill it with soil. Okay, before we fill this up, we are going to put some holes so that I can seal it shut with twine. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm having a thought. I'm just going to cut this and push it into it. I think that'll work better. I've seen that done before, and I think that's a better idea. Let's see. I've got plenty of these, and I'm definitely still going to use this, even if it's going to work. I'm just going to do that. And then just kind of push it in. Okay, why is this harder than I thought it was going to be? It's because all my edges are jagged. I didn't cut it with care. Okay, all right, that essentially, it looks super short now, but that will work. And when I get tape, maybe I'll tape it, but for our purposes, that'll work, and it won't sink down as much when there's soil in there. So let's fill it up. This is the most chaotic video I think I have ever made. I don't know what is wrong with me today. Anyhow, we're gonna fill it up out here so that I don't have a big huge mess. So I'm just gonna dump this in here, and actually, it being in 2 parts does make this a little bit easier. So that's good. All right, so that's kind of filled up, and now I'm going to dampen the soil, and then we'll put the seeds in. Okay, there are some I did earlier, so I'm just going to dampen this, get it nice and wet. I'm going to let that sit there and settle. And I'm going to get some seeds into this guy. Okay, all right. So here are some I did earlier. I'm going to cut these. I'm going to do one first and see how we go. And I'm going to do some of the lupine seeds. Lupin seeds, lupine, I don't know. There's an E at the end of it, so you would think lupine. But I've heard everyone say lupin. Now, with lupin, you don't want to put them too close together because they don't like their roots disturbed. So I'm just going to put in maybe 8 in here. I think that'll be okay. And you don't go very deep with lupin. I'm just going to put them there. And we'll need to check that, make sure I'm correct. But that's what I believe with my heart and soul. And I don't want to put them too close to the edge because that might cause problems down the road. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 7. 9. Okay, I put in about a 9 there. Just put a little bit of water on there. Soak them in. Okay. And then we're going to put the lid on. Hopefully. And that's not going anywhere. That's not going. That's good. This works. Okay, forget the tape. I don't think tape is necessary. So we're going to take the lid off. You do not need the lid. The lid is not necessary. Very important, do not leave the lid on. Snow, water, air, all those things need to flow. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with this one, and then we're going to put them outside. I almost forgot the most important step. Label. Label, label, label. Super important, because we will forget. So, lupine, and the type of lupine that I'm doing, lupine, is Russell. Lupine, Russell. Okay, and you can put it on the outside as well, or wherever. Just make sure labeled. There we go. I'm gonna stick that in here. Unfortunately, I have to take that out to stick it in, but that's okay. In we go. See, it's in there. Cool. All right, and now they're good to go outside. And that's it, easy peasy. I hope you were able to follow along. I hope it made some kind of sense. I'm just gonna repeat the process a million times with all of these. If I have enough milk jugs, I may end up sharing a container for some of them. Yeah, thanks again for watching. I'm sorry if it was too chaotic. But if you liked it, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if not, well, thank you for watching. I appreciate that too. And yeah, Happy New Year. And that's it. All right, thanks. Bye.